Third grade, today in science, we are starting lesson 3. Lesson 3 is talking about adaptations. You're going to need your book. We're on page 48. See at the bottom, page 48. Focusing on those adaptations that animals have. In your notes, remember we already talked about lesson 2. We talked about butterflies. We talked about the frogs and the tadpoles. So today we're going to go with adaptations. The first thing we're looking for is a trait that helps animals survive is called what? All right, so we're looking, as we read, we're thinking, look for those words, trait that helps an animal survive. Adaptations. Animals have special body parts, features, and ways of doing things that help them survive in their environments. Adaptations. Animals live in many different places on Earth. An animal needs food, water, oxygen, and shelter. A trait that helps an animal meet its needs in the place where it lives is called an adaptation. So that's what we need. Trait that helps an animal survive. Adaptation. Inherited traits come from the webbed feet of a pelican are an adaptation. They help the pelican swim and survive in the water where it finds its food. Adaptations, such as webbed feet, are inherited or passed on from parents to their young. So inherited traits come from parents. Right, so like that pelican that has those webbed feet, meaning remember in between its toes it's like webbed like this, so that it can grip the water as it pulls through the water and doesn't just kind of go through the water as if our hands would, right? So it helps them swim better with those webbed feet. Body parts, such as feet and bills, are important inherited adaptations. There are many different kinds of adaptations. Most kinds, such as body color, differ between members of even closely related groups. Here we have two skulls. At the top, you see this porcupine skull. This porcupine skull shows the adaptations of a plant-eating animal. Sharp front teeth cut off parts of plants. Flat teeth in the back of the jaw move from side to side, grinding that tough material up. So, sharp teeth help rip that plant off and off of the rip like the leaves and stuff off the plant, and then the flat teeth back there help grind it together so it makes it into small enough something that that animal can eat. Down here, look at this hyena skull. This one looks much different. The hyena skull shows the adaptations of a meat-eating animal. Notice how many more sharp teeth are in this one. Right? All those sharp teeth because it can tear meat, and the back teeth then are still a little pointy, and those are going to help shred that meat up so that that hyena can have dinner. Adaptations for getting food. Animals have many special adaptations for getting food. Prairie dogs and moles have feet that are especially good for digging. Ooh. Prairie dog. Feet for digging, right? It helps them dig in the earth and find their food. Let's look for hawks next. Hawks and eagles have feet that can hold tightly onto their food when they swoop down to catch it. So they have feet to help hold food. So if they swoop down and catch something, their feet are going to help them kind of grasp onto that so that it can't get away. And then cardinal. Animals may also have the kind of teeth that can handle the foods they eat. Many birds have bills that help them catch and eat their favorite food. Sometimes you can tell what a bird eats by the shape of its bill. Let's look at these 4 different birds here. First one here we have a pelican. Pelican always reminds me of Finding Nemo. The bill of the pelican has a pouch that hangs from it. When a pelican swoops into the water for food, the pouch acts like a net to help the bird catch fish. Remember Finding Nemo? Remember when Marlin's in the ocean and he's looking for Nemo and he's got this pelican that helps him. And the pelican gets this full of water and little Marlin's flopping around up here. Now, that's cartoon, so that doesn't actually, pelicans don't actually save fish that way. They actually eat fish that way. But he catches the fish and uses this like a net, and then he can eat his fish. These three. The long curved bill of the flamingo filter food from shallow water. So they use their bill to kind of filter out food from where they eat. The short, strong bill helps the cardinal break open seeds. So strong beak, cardinal has a strong beak to break open seeds. Think about if you've ever had like a sunflower seed or like a peanut. That's a seed too. And you got to break that outer shell, and it isn't too hard for us to do something like a sunflower seed with our back teeth, but a cardinal needs to have a really strong beak so that all the seeds that they eat, they can break them open. Let's go ahead and turn the page. Adaptations for protection. The way an animal looks can help it survive. This is on page 50 in your book. Camouflage helps some animals blend into their surroundings. Camouflage helps hide the animals from predators. Other animals have colors or markings that copy those of a more dangerous animal. This kind of adaptation is called mimicry. We can take the first two on our notes. Camouflage helps animals blend. Helps them blend into their surroundings. For example, look right here. Can you see it? There's actually an animal on that flower. Look really, really close. It's going to be even easier for you to see in your book. There's actually a crab spider on it right down here. But because of its camouflage, it makes it hard for other animals to see, which helps it to blend in. We also had mimicry. Mimicry means an animal matches another animal's colors. Well, you could say copy. That's the word from our text. Copy other animals' colors. So look at this right here. A harmless hoverfly looks like a dangerous hornet. Right? This is just a fly, but it kind of has some of the same body markings of a hornet, and it helps it to stay safe so that animals don't eat it. Look here, this is another example of that. This is a viceroy butterfly. Now, a viceroy looks very similar to a monarch. Now, the difference is a monarch tastes really, really bad if an animal eats it. So, if an animal eats a monarch butterfly, ooh, it's terrible, they don't like it, they're probably not going to eat a monarch again. Well, viceroy doesn't taste bad. Viceroy is delicious when an animal eats it. But monarchs look like it, so animals avoid eating it, even though it tastes good, not bad like a monarch. It's another example of mimicry. A porcupine has blank on its body for protection. It's going to be our armor section. A porcupine has armor on its body. So, look here at this. This is the spike and horns on this horned lizard. We'll read, later this year, we'll read the book Holes, and we'll read about some yellow-tailed horned lizards. And like this one, it's got some armor on it to help protect it. Same as pill bugs, or if you're anything like I was, we always called them roly-polies when I was little. Those pill bugs, they roll into a ball, and then they have that tough outer shell that make it more difficult for animals to eat. And this is one of the ones that I had never seen before. I had never seen a bird that looks like this before. This is a cassowary, and it has a tough helmet to protect its head as it runs through the brush. So picture that. This animal runs through the brush, and this little helmet on the top helps it so that it doesn't get hurt. Let's finish up with our 2 more paragraphs. The way an animal acts can help it survive. Many animals climb, run, hop, jump, fly, or swim away from danger. Some animals may also use poison to protect themselves. Animals such as skunks and weasels spray a bad-smelling liquid at their enemies. Many animals use body parts such as shells, teeth, claws, hooves, and bills to protect themselves. A porcupine is covered in quills. These special hairs have sharp hooks on their tips. When the porcupine is scared, special muscles make the quills stand up. Then, the porcupine can hit an attacker with its quills. The hooks pierce the attacker's skin and stay attached to it. Awesome. Well, that's all we're going to learn about adaptations for today. Tomorrow we'll pick it up with our next page, page 52.